Hey guys. Okay, so I'm gonna I want to experiment with something for a second. So give you guys a little chance to come on anyway. But I want to see if I can actually get this in real time. So bear with me here. I don't even know. Let's see. There's always this little delay, and I know that I can get on like real time with you. So I'm just gonna play around. Hope you guys are enjoying your day so far. Here we go. I think I see it live. So it's still going to be a little bit of a delay. So I see somebody's watching me. Show me who you are, somebody. So I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to come on. I want to talk a little bit about, I want to answer some of your guys' questions for sure. I want to talk a little bit about what I believe is the reason why that when we meet the right one that God actually wants us to be with, that we will like really trigger each other. Hola, Jonathan. Good to see you. I also want to talk about auto-suggestion, which is a very old way of basically reprogramming your mind. But someone on YouTube came up with robotic affirming, which even confused me a little bit when I first heard it, because I was like, what is that? Like robotic affirming. And the way I pictured it, I was like, oh, I would hate doing that. But then I was like, that's auto-suggestion, which I've been doing ever since I started manifesting. And it works. And so I want to talk about that because it's really important. Hocus pocus focus. Hey, so happy to catch you live from the start. Happy Friday to you. Okay, I also want to talk. So these are the things I do want to get to today, if I can. I want to talk a little bit about how everyone thinks that their problem is special. It's not. Circumstances literally never matter. And I know I've been there before, but no matter what happens, when you stay in trust and you stay in faith and you continue to persist and you keep a very clear vision of your end, no matter what happens in the middle, but that really truly means no matter what. And that's the part where I think you guys like, I used to say in a lot of my videos, you got to kind of like suck it up, Buttercup. And I mean that. It's like, you have to not allow the things that come up in your 3D circumstance to like get the best of you. You have to persist through it because it's all happening for a reason. It's making you stronger. It's bringing you closer to God. God is all power, all love, all knowing. If you are close with God and you're at one with God, God is going to fill you up with all the love that you need, all the power that you need, all the information that you need. And you just have to kind of like surrender to that. Okay, so I want to talk about that a little bit. And I think I may have mentioned, but you guys have to stop. Hey, Luna. Hi, dear Kim. Wonderful that you're live. What can I do against my anxiety, which overwhelms me once in a while? Okay, I'll talk about that. I promise I will get to that in a second. Just going over a few of the things that we're going to cover, or I'm going to try to. So let's see. Part of what I want to talk about anyway does cover that. So I guess I can just go into that. So let me just read that again. So Luna asked, hi dear Kim, wonderful that you're live. What can I do against my anxiety, which overwhelms me once in a while? So it's really good that it's once in a while. I know in the beginning when I'm first, there's going to be a period when you have gotten really clear about what it is that you want. And when I say you've gotten really clear about what it is that you want, that you have gotten clear on what you want your end to be, not clear about what you want you're welcome, Luna, what you want all the little steps to be from the middle. A lot of you guys tend to be thinking from, feeling from, and focusing on your middle, your circumstances, the 3D, and you're trying to like control it, even though you're hearing all these terms, how important it is to live from the end, circumstances don't matter, don't mess with the middle, but you guys are still affirming from and living from the middle. And so when that happens, you're not actually super clear about your end. So the end is how you want whatever the situation is, what is the ideal? When you can get such a clear picture of your end, some tools that you can have in the middle when you start to get anxious. Number one, you have to be able to own that I'm anxious right now because I'm simply not believing or trusting in my end. So what you can do at that point is like, you can literally talk yourself through this, like talk yourself off the ledge, so to speak. Okay, I'm feeling anxious right now. I know that this is just my middle. And I know that if I'm feeling anxious right now, that must mean that I'm falling for the old story. So what I can do right now is I can go and take some deep breaths, and maybe the deep breaths will start to calm my nervous system down. And from there, I can focus on basically, submitting my will to God and just like saying, I forgot for a little while. I trust you completely. I know I'm super clear of what it is that I know that you want from me. I'm going to go back into trust in you. And if you can start to feel better in those moments, then you can just go into some of your affirmations again. Like you can literally just like affirm your way, like breathe your way through the spiral. Try to breathe. Try to give yourself, if you're in the middle of a bad spiral, and this is more of a, like, you're feeling rejection, you're feeling the old wound, you're feeling less than, I want to remind you that when we are born, you are worthy simply because you exist. So you're worthy of love. You're worthy of everything that you want in your life simply because you exist. When a baby is born, you think of new life. Does that baby deserve love? Does that baby deserve understanding, compassion, security? Does that baby deserve nurturing? Yes, 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 yes. So when you were brought into this world, you automatically were deserving and worthy. Somewhere along the line, things happened, which is unfortunate for many of us and to varying degrees for all of us. But something happened along the way that taught us otherwise, but that otherwise was, again, in some ways very unfortunate. But if we interpreted harmful things that others did to us because they were in their egos, they weren't grounded in God, they were in their egos. If they were grounded in their egos and they caused harm to us, they were living completely in fear, completely in ego. And that's what happens when we separate ourselves from God, from the God within us. Okay, so anyway, so do the breathing, remind yourself, talk yourself through that you understand what's happening right now. Like that helps you separate yourself from the wound of what's happening. Okay, I see what's happening right now. I know that I'm just not trusting right now. I know that I'm feeling really scared right now, really anxious. So I must be really attached. I must be really attached to a lie right now. I must be really attached to a lie that says somehow I don't deserve this love. Somehow this person doesn't love me. Somehow this, that, I'm unforgiven. Somehow I'm not enough. Somehow, like all of those things. So walk yourself through that and then give yourself the love. The importance of self-love and self-concept cannot be repeated enough. And the importance of staying in your end and trusting in God cannot be repeated enough. These are things that you really have to practice literally every single day of your life. I know some of you guys say, well, I've been persisting. I haven't seen anything. I never see anything. I never see any movement. So I have a lot of clients, and my clients are all in different stages. Like some people are just coming on board now. Some people have been with me for a little while. Some people were working with other coaches. Now they come to me. And some people now are seeing movement. Some people now are back with their SPs. Some people are in the 3D with their SPs. So there's hot and cold back and forth. And for the most part, that's what most of my clients usually want to talk about. But we can say the same thing on some of them with their financial things, with money. Same thing, kind of same. One thing that I do see time and time again, when people first come to me, and a lot of you guys might fall into this group, and it's really important for you to be honest with yourself, because you can't lie to yourself. You can't lie to the universe. You can't lie to God. You can't lie to your higher self, So if you are saying, I have been persisting, I have been affirming, I have been doing the work, and I never see anything, I have to challenge you. I believe that you may not be fully in trust of your end. And And really, that's the best way to put it, that you believe your circumstance is bigger than you. You believe that your circumstance is somehow special. You believe that somehow, because you're not seeing anything, that it hasn't begun to unfold, that nothing is happening. And you are always freaked out because it feels like I'm doing all this work and nothing's happening. It's not unfolding, but it's really just because you keep falling into, when you continue to look and say, nothing's happening, nothing's happening, nothing's happening, that's what you're manifesting. It doesn't mean that things aren't happening behind the scenes, even when you're doing that. It's just kind of, you're creating the loop, the illusion of nothing happening, of not seeing anything. But God doesn't stop working. God isn't like, I mean, if you totally give up and you decide, yeah, this is never going to happen, I can't have this, I'm not worthy of this, they don't love me, I don't deserve this money, I don't deserve this opportunity, I don't deserve this job, I don't deserve this support. If you do that, yeah, all movement will stop if that's where you go with it. But movement will always continue to happen if you continue. And by the way, if you do stop and you give up, you can always go back to whatever it is too. So Luna, I'm trying to think if that is helpful for you. Let me know in the comments if I need to go on with that. Let me know and I can elaborate on that a little bit, but it really is important, like, talk yourself through that and just recognize what's happening and know, okay, what do I need to do? I need to get myself back in trusting and knowing in God, trusting and knowing in that my end literally already exists. So if it already exists, is there really any reason for me to be so worried right now? So then that will bring up, well, I don't really believe in this. I don't know if this is actually true. So then if that's the case, then you need to look at how can you have to see how you can get yourself to a place where you actually see that you are manifesting your reality. And by the way, manifesting isn't magic tricks. It's not anything different than breathing. It's just thinking and trusting in God. It's really thinking, trusting in God, and allowing God to bring the experiences to you. I know a lot of people have this weird idea of what manifesting is, but it's really that simple. So if you're having a hard time believing in manifesting itself, then you have to start to connect the dots. So instead of challenging yourself, like some YouTubers say, and you can do this if it works for you, it never worked for me really, you can, instead of writing down like, oh, I want to test this out and see if it works, so I'm going to write down like 20 things that I'm going to try to manifest, little things. Sometimes with some people that causes anxiety, and then they also get afraid because they're like, oh, this means so much to me, this big thing, my big manifestation means so much to me, and there's so much importance on it, which is, that in itself is, part of the problem. But then they go ahead and they worry that if I can't do these little manifestations to prove to myself that I actually can manifest, as if you're not already manifesting, because you're already manifesting, right? But under this illusion, then when they go ahead and they write things down, it puts so much pressure on them, and they get this fear, this anxiety. It's almost like a phobia of, if I can't manifest a cup of coffee, if I can't manifest seeing a pink car, if I can't manifest seeing, I don't know, whatever these list of things that you write down, then that means that I'm never going to be able to manifest the big thing. So I wouldn't do that. What I used to do for my kind of spiritual proof, where I wanted to see God at hand in my life, how God came through with miracles and, was always there to support me and give me the love that I needed, I basically remembered all of the things that had already happened to me at that point in my life, where I was like, oh, wow, yeah. So I was praying about that. I was thinking about that. And then that unfolded in my life. But then I would always just live in this place where I was so mindful and so consistently in the now moment that I was able to just always constantly, which I still do, connect the dots of, oh, wow, yeah, I was literally just thinking of this person, or I was literally just thinking of this song. I was literally just thinking that this amount of money, whatever the case is, I was literally just thinking of this opportunity coming to me. This happened, and that's a better way, I think, that you can do that. So if your problem, Luna, is in any way, like, I don't think I'm really manifesting, we've worked together and you manifested, go back to what you manifested after our first, session or first couple sessions. So you were a very powerful manifester. The only reason, good, I'm glad it's helpful. The only reason why the bigger things, and I put in quotes, the bigger things are harder, is because you think that they're harder. And that's all it is. That's literally all it is. The problem is on a pedestal. It needs to be brought down, like, till it's like a speck of dust. And I'm not saying, like, if part of what you want to manifest is a better relationship with somebody, any type of relationship, I'm not saying that you diminish down the importance of that person. The thing that you diminish down the importance of is the problem that you think stands between you and that person. Okay. All right. So that's that part of it. I hope that helped. And I'm sure we could go, I need to have more trust. Yes, you need to have more trust. That's exactly it. So you need to have trust in yourself, that you are beautiful, amazing, more than worthy, precious. You need to have trust in God, and you need to have trust in what's in your heart of hearts, not your ego, your heart of hearts. Sometimes I want to do, like, maybe a video on, a lot of people are like, I don't know if this is really my person. Okay. So get clear on this. If this person, are you attached to the idea of this person simply out of some sort of infatuation or attachment? Or is this such a deep love that, regardless of what their choices are, that what you have for this person is complete, pure, genuine, true love, that it is truly unconditional. I want to read actually Corinthians. This is important. So this is what Corinthians 13:4-8. Love is patient, love is kind, does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. True love never fails. So what goes on with a lot of you guys, when this is your person, when this is the person, this is from my perspective, that God wants you to be with, and you think of God however you want to think of God. I know I've been really clear on this channel how I think about God. Okay, but when it's the person that I believe, God, higher self, whatever you want to call, when it's the person that you're going to marry, you're going to be with, there is going to be, and this is usually what happens with most of us, there's most likely going to be a period of bubble love where everything is like really like perfect. And then it's almost as if your insecurities and their insecurities perfectly antagonize each other to a point that it has never happened before with anyone else. Like, you could have had triggers with other people. You could have had problems with other people. I'm not saying that, because you could also have patterns based off of your limiting beliefs. But this is something that's unique, because the love. So let me get this clear, what I'm talking about right now. You can meet somebody, they could just trigger the heck out of you. And it doesn't mean that, oh, this is the love of my life. I mean, if you believe it is fine, but I'm talking about like when the love is also super, super, super deep with both of you guys. And then like it blows up. It just literally blows up. Your insecurities are like perfect for their insecurities in the way that it makes everything so like again, it's like this, it antagonizes each other. And God, for me, it's one of the reasons is because you're going to be forced. This is what's happening to a lot of you guys. You guys are being forced to surrender. You're being like sanctified through this love. You are having to really go deep and learn how to love yourself, and really, really go deep and allow, it's like that forces you to get your source of love from God, from your higher self. It forces you to love yourself. This is part of the point of it. And then as you learn how to love yourself and you learn how to not seek love, validation from people outside of you, then it's like you're self-sufficient, and you can get to a point where you feel very content in your life, as if like, I almost like don't even need the relationship. But deep down, you know that you still want to be with this person. It's like there's this process that happens where you are like, you're just good. You're good with yourself. You love yourself. You adore yourself. You know the value that you hold. You know what you bring to the table. And while you're doing that work, you know that you trust in your end with this person. That's kind of a perfect recipe. It actually is very simple. It's just that our egos make it all very difficult and hard. And like I said, everybody thinks that their circumstance is somehow special and rare, and it really isn't. And I know this just from proof from my own life and just what I see happen with my clients after a few sessions, and, they start to get movement. And then what happens is they start to get movement and everything is awesome. And it's exciting. And then what's going to happen is sometimes, not always, but sometimes you'll start to adhere to your 3D and you stop doing the inner work. It's like you stop the focus on your end in your imagination, in your trust, and you get sucked right into the 3D. And then you're not getting it's not matching fully how you're feeling when you're, going into your imagination and when you're meditating and when you're doing all these visualizations, and it's not quite matching your end. It's like they're not showing up on the white horse, and they're not necessarily, the communication isn't necessarily where you want it. And you guys freak out. Just don't. You got to pull yourself back and trust. Just keep persisting in your end. Somebody recently commented and asked me, well, how do you, I would love it. I think the subscriber's name is Beckwith or something like that. And shout out to Beckwith. And they asked something like, I really would love for you to do a lesson or a video on how to persist when your 3D is showing you no movement. And I said, I will, but the video is going to be literally maybe all of 3 seconds long, because it can be a video of me just literally saying, just do it. Just persist. Just keep persisting. Stop getting in your heads about it. Stop getting in your wound about it. Just stay in trust. Okay. So I'm going to go up here and see what we have here. So we have a lot of people on. So like always, maybe I'll go back to my notes, or maybe I might just go into the questions and answers at this point. So, all right, Luna. So yes, you're welcome. She said, Luna, after I think probably in response to me saying that you are a powerful manifestor, and we both saw how amazing, you manifested the money, you manifested the support, you manifested a lot of things right after we met. So you are a powerful manifestor. So please remember that. Start your day remembering that, okay? And again, what does a powerful manifestor mean? A powerful manifestor means that you trust in God, you trust in yourself, you trust in your heart. You know that thinking equals experience. That's it. It's not anything else. You're not trying to control people. You're not trying to control anyone in your life. You're controlling yourself, okay? You're not people aren't puppets. You're not trying to control people. You're controlling yourself. And the beautiful, perfect mirror that it is, and that these sacred people in your life are, they will mirror everything back to you. Just keep trusting in your heart, keep trusting in God. Okay, Nicole, why was my SP obsessed with me for 3 years? We dated and he pursued me. We were perfect. Then randomly a month ago, he lost feelings. How did I manifest this? Well, without knowing your specifics, it's hard to know how you manifested it, but my guess is something probably happened between the two of you guys. And so if you're telling me that your relationship was perfect, harmonious, balanced, Like you guys were like perfect supports for each other. It was a healthy, balanced relationship. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a month ago, he just lost his feelings. My guess is something internally must have happened with you, and you started to feel some sense of abandonment or something, it sounds like. But if you want, you know, you have to comment a little bit more, because what you gave me there, you're not giving me much, because I don't know what was going on in your head. But all you have to do is kind of just trust that if this is your person, just trust that, you know, you just need to go in and do the inner work, like we always say. The circumstance of what just happened doesn't matter. This is temporary. See the two of you guys happy, in love, in support. If you guys are living together, then go to your end of being happily living together. You know, you must, if you were dating for 3 years, I'm guessing that you probably had some experiences where you guys cuddled, where you guys did normal things together, where you guys cooked together, cleaned together, things like that. So you want to kind of just really get into a lot of self-love, self-acceptance. Don't resist what's happened so much. Don't put too much into what's happened too much. Trust that it's happening, maybe it's just something somewhere along the line you lost yourself a little bit. So put yourself first, prioritize yourself, bring God in. And, you know, I would make, it's always really hard, because I don't know, like everybody comes in with different spiritual beliefs and things like that, but make God number one, get in union with God, get in trust with God. If this is who you want to be with, it's hard. You didn't say in your comment that this is the person you want to live with or marry, but if it is, then go deep in self-love, go deep in staying in the end, go deep in trust in God. Okay. And just persist, which means don't worry about the 3D, period. Just don't worry about the 3D. And everybody's like, how am I not supposed to worry? When you're too busy being fabulous and enjoying your life and getting your act together and getting stronger mentally, physically, keeping like everything about you, just making yourself be the best version of yourself, loving life, trusting in God, you should be doing things that will be keeping you busy. You're not just waiting. If you guys are waiting around, then you're manifesting waiting around. So if you're wondering, I'm not getting movement, if you're in a waiting energy, you're manifesting waiting, right? You're manifesting waiting. I also want to talk about inspired action, but I will if I get a chance to. And I also have somebody coming to put wallpaper up today. So if he texts me, I may have to go abruptly. So let me just see if he's okay. All right. So I hope that helped, Luna. Fox City Homes. Okay, I am living in my end scene of having my wife back home. Yesterday, I responded to a text from her that I've seen a few times affirming the opposite, yet seems to indicate she clearly has feelings. Okay, perfect example. Stay in your imagination. Don't worry about the text. The text doesn't matter. If you project yourself in the future where you guys, not only are you back together because you're already married or were married or whatever, right? So you guys, your marriage now is even healthier, is even stronger, is even more fun, is more balanced. And it's even like grounded in this kind of spiritual aspect of it. Like you guys are able to be in union, and you are even deeper in your trust in like all of this and how life works. So go to your end of just knowing this is just the middle. Project yourself again that if I was in this healthier, stronger, better than ever relationship with my beautiful, loving wife, and I see all of her power, I see all of her devotion, I see her true nature, and she sees me and all of my power and my true nature. And we are just so perfectly harmonious together. If you are living from that state and feeling from there and thinking from there, this wouldn't matter. Like this just wouldn't matter, okay? Even in the 3D, people break up and they make up all the time. But the difference with this is You don't want a hot and cold situation. So don't worry about the text messages of, it not necessarily matching your end. Just continue to persist in your end. I hope that you're doing a lot of self-love, self-concept practice. Okay, so let's see. Create a vista, but what if the memory of that version is good? If the memory of, so you just capitalize on the good memories and you drop anything that's not good. That's all. Does that make sense? Channel no more. Yes, being forced is exactly how I feel. Oops. Sorry about that. Yes, being forced is exactly how I feel, Kim. Good. It's good. It's good. It's like you're being put through, you're being forced to be the best version of you, because it's like when I've experienced those things, like financially in my life in the past, where like I had no choice but to literally get to a point where I knew that the economy was not my source, that God was my source, period. Economy, not my source, God is my source. And I ended up having miracles in like massive amounts of money. So like it forced me to realize that this doesn't matter. God matters. And that's it. And then, that's it. So Evie, how do we fall deeply in love with ourselves? Well, how I fell deeply in love with myself was a really healthy self-love practice. So I basically, every morning I wake up, and I still do it to this day. Every morning I wake up and I give thanks for everything that I currently have in my life that I'm so grateful for. And I tend to feel super grateful and appreciative of like the tiniest things, the littlest things. So I run through that in my mind. I'm super grateful for another day to be alive, another day to create, another day to help teach people, another day to give value to this life and into the world. And then I basically remind myself like what all of this is. Like I really understand that life is just mirroring me back to me to allow me to become the best version of me. And then I remind myself that all of my soul's desires, the deep love, pure desires are meant for me. So I don't have to worry about anything. And then I go into basically myself, and I love my heart. I love how how deeply I love how compassionate I am. I love how much of a kind human being I am. I love that I am a good listener. I love that I am a good communicator. I love that I am a good friend. I love that I'm a good, somebody who is really lovable and good to have around. I am creative. I know that I am worthy of having everything that I want. I go into all of that stuff, and then I just remind myself of like all of my skills, and I remind myself of just all of these beautiful traits and the qualities of my nature, like who I truly am. I really think about that the same way that if you were, say you were in a happy relationship, you wake up in the morning and you roll over to the person that you love and you tell them like, you are so incredible to me. You're so amazing to me. I love how strong you are. I love how devoted you are. I love how, you make me feel so, you always make me feel so special, and all of this stuff. You want to give that self-love to yourself. Then so I start from the inside out. I give thanks for my body. I give thanks for, how strong I am. I give thanks for my healing. Then I love myself from head to toe. Basically, it's first, the most important stuff is from the inside to me. And then the stuff on the outside that I love, that, I'll go through. I love my hair. I love my face, and I'll go through my features, my body. I love my body regardless of, I had a lot of kind of body image problems because I was very heavy when I was younger. I lost a ton of weight. Then I went into bodybuilding. I got super muscular and strong, and my body was exactly how I wanted it. And I felt so good about it. Then I ended up with a thyroid condition, gained a lot of weight. then lost it all, couldn't work out. So I ended up like flabby, and my body wasn't exactly the way I wanted it. And that became a fear of like somehow that my body wouldn't be accepted in a relationship. And so what do I have to do with that? And it took somebody basically mentoring me to give me some pointers, which was just basically, you just have to really love yourself exactly how you are. See yourself being loved exactly how you are, which what I used to do is focus on trying to get thinner, trying to get stronger. That, like, in other words, before I could actually, really enjoy making love to the person that I love, I'm going to have to lose weight. I'm going to have to tighten everything up. But my mentor basically, pointed out, no. I want you to see yourself, imagine yourself with the lights on, which was terrifying, making love with somebody and seeing how much they love every inch of you, how you are right now. So like, those are ideas of like self-love, like really like valuing yourself inside and out. So hopefully that helps. Like, Evie, what are some things that are really wonderful about you? What makes you such an amazing human being, right? Those are the things you want to really capitalize on and focus on. Channel no more. You're reading my mind, Kim. This is exactly where I'm at. But get triggered still because forced to live together at the moment. That is tough, but that'll make you even stronger. But yeah. So manifesting isn't for the faint of heart. In some cases, especially when you're in the 3D and you're living under the same roof with somebody, it is challenging, but you can do it. You just have to be super strong. It's making you stronger. You'll be fine. You just have to really, really, really just stay super focused. Stay in your now moment as much as you possibly can in the 3D, always focusing on knowing that your end already exists, that everything is going to be okay. This is just temporary. Something I point out with my clients too, that's is very important. It's really important, and call me old fashioned, but eating well, putting good things in your system, your body is your temple. Don't pollute your temple. Put things in your body that your body thrives on. Drink a ton of water. Something that has helped me, something that has always helped a good number of my clients. When you are finding yourself in a place where you are spiraling a lot, you get anxious a lot, you're getting super reactive with a lot of things, look at your sugar, carb, and caffeine intake and do yourself a huge favor. No sugar or caffeine after, say, 11 a.m., 10 a.m. for some people. Drink plenty of water throughout the day to flush out toxins, flush out your system. You want to even be careful. Like, I personally don't eat processed foods because they have so much junk in them, because a lot of these things can make you feel anxious. And when you feel anxious, it's going to be harder to be able to like stay in a relaxed state, keep your nervous system kind of in check, keep yourself regulated so you're not emotionally spinning out of control and distraught. Sometimes that not only makes this journey harder, but it also can trick you. I remember when I used to spiral a lot, I used to be up and down a lot. And sometimes it would just simply be because how my body was responding to something that I took in the previous day, and I would be spiraling and distraught and sad and frustrated, and I would literally take those feelings and be putting it on the things that I was trying to manifest in my life, which was then causing problems with my manifestations. But the physical sensations, the emotional sensations, crying, feeling emotional, had nothing to do with my manifestations. But because I assigned the meaning of these physical, emotional feelings I'm feeling to that, that's what caused the problem. That's what caused delays. So clean up your stuff there. And I know like some people are like, oh, it's a limiting belief, I should be able to eat whatever I want. Okay, do you, if you feel good eating junk, keep doing it. Go ahead. I'm speaking to the people who might benefit from putting healthy things in their system. That's all. So I just have to say that. Hocus pocus focus. Hold on, let me get to you in a sec, because I'm sorry, Hocus. I missed a couple people. Whoa, I missed a lot. All right. Sorry, guys, this just skipped on me. Okay. Channel no more. You made this live just for me, it seems. Good. Ray Light, this live is very powerful and enlightening. Good. Thank you, Ray Light. Lots of love to you. Leslie, I have a deep abandonment fear. Oh, girl, I've been there before. I know. Ugh, you'll get through it. If I can get through it, you can get through it. So every time my SB suggests a date, my fear overtakes me. Oh, sweetie pie, my fear overtakes me, and then he retreats. Okay, so you need to like focus a lot on when the little part of you comes up that's afraid you're going to get abandoned. You want to show up for that little part of you, and you want to give that little part of you the love that it didn't get before. And you also want to forgive the people who may have caused this. You can do this just by going into some like really deep breathing, like really deep, like really a nice deep breath in, hold for 4, and then exhale slowly for 8. Do that a good 4 or 5 times. You want to drop into your heart center. When I say that, what I mean is like, this is your home. You want to like focus all of your attention and energy in the center of your heart, and just do some normal breathing. And this is the part of the exercise of like, you can bring up the little part of you that's like needing love right now, that part of you that's feeling agitated, that's feeling like, this is scary, love is scary. And that little part of you just needs some attention. So bring it up and just remind that little part of you that little part of you is literally never going to be alone. First of all, you are always going to be there. You are not going anywhere. And you want to let that little part of you know that they're secure, that maybe up until this point, you weren't sure how to give it love, but you're here now. So anytime that little part of you needs love, you are going to show up for you. You're going to give that little part of you all the love that it needs by just reminding that little part of you, hey, you are so lovable. I'm literally not going anywhere. Anytime that you need me, you can just crawl right into my arms, and I will stop everything I'm doing, and I will give you all of the love that you need. You're never going to be alone. You're literally never going to be left. There's nothing that you or anyone can do about this. I am not going anywhere. I am always, always, always going to be here for you. You can't even push me away. I'm always going to be here for you, no matter what. Nothing can ever take me away. Not only do you say that to yourself, but know that God is never going to leave you. God is never, ever, ever going to abandon you. Okay. So that's how you show up for that little part of you. And you just want to keep doing that until you feel soothed. And then the more you get into that practice, that can like literally can be something you can do for a week. The less agitated you'll start to feel. You also want to tell yourself that love is safe, that relationships are safe. This was another one that my mentor worked with me on. Love can be, when you really, really, really love somebody, the idea of, finally finding the person that seems to like get into each and every corner of your mind, that literally taps into like, I don't know, like seems to, I can't even put into words when I experienced like for the first time having that. It's like getting your mind read, and it's almost like, whoa, like, and having so many synchronicities and like just being each other's like instant, like best friend, like, I can't get enough of this person, this person, no matter how this person shows up, like, I can't help but to love them. And, so when you have that kind of love finally show up in your life, the idea of losing it, it taps right into that little abandonment fear. So give yourself the self-love that it needs. Go through the deep breathing, tap into God, tap into your higher self, give it the love. And then you also can, while you're in that space, or even a separate time, by the way, when you go into that space, you might cry a lot, and that's good. Let yourself cry. Just give yourself the love that you didn't get before. You can also bring the people in that showed up for you in the way that wasn't, what you needed or didn't show up for you, and have a little bit of an imaginal scene of them apologizing to you. And just what I've done in the past that always helped me, let me see, I have a lot of questions on, is I'll literally bring, like, I had a bad thing with my dad you know, a lot of my fears of rejection and self-worth stuff was around things that my dad basically said to me. So when I went through my process, which my person basically was the one who showed me that this is something I needed to do, I brought him in, you know, over probably, I don't know how much time. It didn't take a long time, but I brought him in, and I saw the version of him I remember who was loving with me. And I took like kind of that version of him, and I let him basically apologize to me and tell me that the reason why he didn't do X, Y, or Z, or the reason why he did do the things that were damaging to me and my self-worth was because he himself was abused. So then I told him that, you know, I loved him and I knew he loved me and I forgave him. And then I brought his little inner child in and I gave his inner child the love that his inner child needed. And excuse me, 1 second. Sorry, guys. I don't want to stop the end, but I need to get this. Hello? 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 Hi. Okay. Okay. Sorry. I'm sorry, but it was like literally a telemarketer. Sorry about that, guys. So, anyway, so the people who have hurt me, I do that kind of work, and then I bring their inner child in. Okay, I bring their inner child in and I give their inner child the love that they needed. And even sometimes another thing that I've done is if somebody told me about like something really messed up that happened to them when they were young, I'll go into that imaginal act and I'll imagine myself protecting that person from whoever harmed them. So I do a lot of healing for myself and for others that way. And I do feel like it works. I mean, I know for me it works. Okay, so how do we feel deeply in love with ourselves? I already answered that. Okay, sorry, Evie. Nicole, we are doing long distance. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Long distance is nothing. Like time and space is illusion. It doesn't matter. How long of a distance is it? If it's across the world, how long does the flight take? You can get from one side of the world to the other in a matter of a day. So distance doesn't matter. Distance doesn't matter. How can I manifest new love? This is perfect. If you want to manifest new love, do the deeper self-love work, and everything that we talk about doing to manifest somebody else back, do that for yourself now. Trust and know that the right person will come into your life. Get really clear on who it is that you want to be with. Get really clear on that partner. Like, be extremely specific. Let your heart guide you in this, because from my perspective, when you are in that place of a lot of self-love, a lot of self-worth, you trust in God. By the way, there's a really good prayer by Dr. Joseph Murphy for this. So I'm actually going to see if I can read it right now. But when you get really clear about this, then, yeah, I got it right here. Then when you are getting clear, you're not making a list of somebody that doesn't exist in your life. You are writing your future. You are writing who you already are in existence in a happy, harmonious union with. When you describe them, this isn't somebody that, okay, I'm going to meet somebody who has some of these qualities. When you're super clear about it, you're actually going to be describing that exact person who you are already, right now as we speak, the end of you and that person, I don't know if it's a man or a woman, the end of the two of you guys being together and happy literally already exists now. So when you get super clear, you're literally going to be basically writing out them, exactly them. That's from my perspective. So I'm going to read this really quick, Dr. Joseph Murphy, how to attract the ideal, this happens to be ideal wife, but actually, Nicole, I'll read how to attract the ideal husband for you. I know that I am one with God now. In him I live, move, and have my being. God is life. This life is the life of all men and women. We are all sons and daughters of the one Father. I know and believe there is a man waiting to love and cherish me. I know I can contribute to his happiness and peace. He loves my ideals and I love his ideals. He does not want to make me over, neither do I want to make him over. There is mutual love, freedom, and respect. There is one mind. I know him now in this mind. I unite now with the qualities and attributes that I admire and want expressed by my husband. And I am one with them in my mind. We know and love each other already in divine mind. I see the God in him. He sees the God in me. How beautiful. Having met with him within, I must meet him without, for this is the law of my own mind. These words go forth and accomplish whereunto they are sent. I know it is now done, finished, and accomplished in God. Thank you, Father. And as far as it's saying husband, it doesn't matter whether, like, gender is irrelevant with that, okay? So find that prayer, just Google online Dr. Joseph Murphy, how to attract the ideal husband. Personally, I love how to attract the ideal wife. I'm going to read that too, being that we're here. Why not? Okay, so how to attract the ideal wife, then I'll get back to some of your questions. I love this one. And again, gender doesn't matter. God is one and indivisible. In him we live, move, and have our being. I know and believe that God indwells every person. I am one with God and with all people. I now attract the right woman who is in complete accord with me. This is a spiritual union because it is the Spirit of God functioning through the personality of someone with whom I blend perfectly. I know that I can give to this woman love, light, and truth. I know I can make this woman's life full, complete, and wonderful. I now decree that she possesses the following qualities and attributes. She is spiritual, loyal, faithful, and true. She is harmonious, peaceful, and happy. We are irresistibly attracted to each other. Only that which belongs to love, truth, and wholeness can enter into my experience. I accept my ideal companion now. So read those poems, whichever one resonates more with you, or prayers rather. Read those every day. Read them a couple times a day. That's what I did, among other things that I teach. Okay, so I hope that helps. And if you need those, just find them, Google online Dr. Joseph Murphy. Okay, let's see. I'm just looking at myself here. It looks like my lipstick wore off. Damn it. Oh, well, that's okay. So John M., tips to keep on track when changing self-concept and there's no visible movement. I keep getting non-selected for jobs and I'm afraid I might crack. Oh, okay. So in terms of jobs, non-selected, we'll take this as an example, although I will say anytime. So if you're going for a particular job and you've really lived in the end of having it, to me, living in the end would look something like that. You've gone beyond the interview. You are seeing yourself literally like being appreciated by your boss, that you and your coworkers, it's, really collaborative. It's a very healthy, happy work environment. You love that you're recognized for your hard work and you're valued for your hard work. And by the way, this is jogging a memory of a story I can tell you guys. Give me one sec. And let's say that you're having the interview now, and what I've done in the past is I stay focused on my end, and I know that that is a thing. Then before the job interview, I have at that point known, not questioned, but known that when I present myself, when I'm in front of these people, whomever it is, the boss, when they see me, they're going to know that I am the one. I am the one for them. I am the new, whatever your title is. They know while I'm talking, this is my, so you're a male. So this is my man. This is my guy. This is my new whatever. And then here's the part where people might get tripped up. You might not get the job and then you give up. But even somebody who used to own, obviously I have a new business now, I have my own practice here, but I don't have employees. But somebody who used to have a different business that I manifested purposely, intentionally as an experiment so I could someday teach. When I used to interview people, sometimes I knew immediately when I was interviewing them that I wanted them. And sometimes I would interview someone else and I would end up going with someone else. And then within a week, 2, or even a month, who did I think about? My original. And it just didn't work out with this person. And I would call the other one back and say, you know what, you were actually my first choice. This other person didn't work out. So that's how you handle in the moment non-selected. You are selected. You just trust that. And you keep planting other seeds. You don't stop, period. You keep going on other interviews and that's it. But just keep that even from a 3D perspective, from being somebody who used to hire people. Just because they don't call you back right away, or just because they don't actually, they might call you and say, you're not, unfortunately, we went with somebody who was a better fit. Who cares? You just say, I don't know how that's possible because my office is waiting there. Like, you just be super confident about it. Like, this is weird because I know that you hired me. I know that I'm the one that, so just don't even fall for it. Don't let it get to you. Okay. So let me know if that helped. Dana, how do you get out of waiting mode if you're not intentionally doing it? I almost just said, stop waiting. Sometimes it really is that simple. You're not waiting. If you're in your end and you know that your end is happening, you're living your life, you're having fun, be effing fabulous. Go have fun. Go do the things that make you happy. Like, someday when you're in the relationship, you're going to look back at this time and you're going to be like, first of all, I could have taken that time to do, what I'm doing right now? I've got so many things. That doesn't matter. Okay, I'll take it back to you guys. Just be fabulous. Do all the things you love to do. That's what I was saying. So you will someday be looking back saying, like, first of all, why did I waste so much of my time worrying, so many days and nights in agony and fear, crying for no reason? I waste so much of my precious energy when I could have been doing this, doing that. I could have been. That's how you want to just stop waiting, Dana. Okay. Stop waiting. Fill your mind up. This is going to dovetail. Oh, shoot. I wanted to go back to this. Okay. I'm going to go back to this in a sec with the job, being valued at a job. But Dana, auto-suggestion. This is how, when I first started learning how to manifest, how I shifted my thinking, how I developed the skill to persist, how I developed the skill to see beyond 3D circumstances, how I basically rewired my brain. So, your neural pathways will actually change. It's auto-suggestion. So you're going to be constantly thinking all day anyway. So I think one of the mistakes that happens with you guys, and this is so important, so please take this in. Hold on, give me 1 sec. Please take this in. You guys currently are like, it's like you are currently, how can I put this? This is an important point. You're noticing all of the scary thoughts and obsessing over the scary thoughts. And then you're afraid of your own fears. And then this becomes like this phobia or fear of anxiety of your thinking. I want you to stop doing that and instead just fill up your mind with thoughts that you like. So like, in other words, you're going to be thinking all day anyway, just constantly be thinking of everything that you want constantly. So for some of you guys, it would look like, let's say that it's money. Let's say it's money, home, relationship. Okay. So all day you're going to be like, oh, I love that my life is so awesome. I love that everything always works out for me. I love that we have such a happy relationship. I love how he treats me. I love that I'm such a priority in his life. I love that we have such a good relationship. I love that we take such good care of each other. I love our new home. I love that there's always so much money in the bank. I love that I literally can buy anything, go into a store and just in your mind, just be buying everything, but you don't actually do it. Just like, oh my God, I love that. Even though I don't need anything right now, if I wanted to, you're not going to, if I wanted to, I can literally buy everything, but I love just having so much security. I love, so you just want to literally be thinking thoughts that you love all day. Like literally, don't give your mind something to focus on and give it good things to focus on. That's it. That's it. Try that. So don't get hooked into and caught up in your negative thoughts. Don't give the negative thoughts room to even exist. Okay. Oh, negative thoughts are coming up. Oh, sorry, you're not welcome. What is? And think of the thoughts that you love. That's what I did. It works. Okay, I wanted to talk really quickly. This goes back to John M. a little bit, kind of, not really, but it's okay. I have done this with so many friends. I used to do this also with a lot of customers of mine. A lot of times when I had my retail business for 15 to 16 years, which was an experiment so I could teach myself truly I reverse engineered everything so I could learn how to manifest. And I manifested so many things over the years so I could teach. One of the things that came up a lot, even with customers that I coached, even sometimes when I'd be working on my customers, we'd be working on design. I'm a sucker for design. I love designing. So we would be working on their design, and then we would end up basically having a coaching session. And I would end up coaching them usually on things related to their career or jobs. One of the things that came up often, and I saw this happen time and time again, the results of what I'm about to tell you guys. Oftentimes, this kind of story would be very typical. Like, I feel like my boss doesn't appreciate me. I feel like I don't get paid what I deserve. And I feel like my coworkers, like I'm not being valued or recognized for what I bring to the table. My advice to them, and for any friend that I ever gave this advice to, was always the same. You don't focus on them anymore at all. You completely withdraw all of your attention. Does this sound familiar, by the way? Withdraw all of your attention from what they're saying and doing. Go completely all in valuing yourself. What are all the reasons that make you such an amazing employee? What are all the things that you bring to the table? What are your skills? How strong are you as a whatever it is? And like, see yourself being so highly valued and literally being that you literally bring so much to the table that you raise the bar on everyone else, that literally you inspire everybody to be like you. You being in that department, for example, you inspire people to work harder. You inspire people to be more creative. Your presence alone is such a strong force that when you walk into work, everybody is like, oh, time for us all we better all like bring it now, because, greatness pretty much just walked in. So when the people I suggested do things like that, it was amazing. They would literally tell me after just a few days of them doing that, a week or so, that suddenly, like, their boss was treating them differently. Their coworkers were treating them differently. Some of them were offered raises. Like, so that I just wanted to add. So let's see. I love food. Can you help me with the following? I want to attract funding and people for my projects. I have tried in the past, but I failed. Maybe you have some tips. Yeah. So I attracted, let me take a sip. So with my retail business, before the pandemic, because the pandemic, I'm going to have to do some videos on this when I feel like I can say it in a way that won't trigger people. But I experienced something last year, basically, that was so powerful But I feel like I haven't figured out a way to frame it yet where I don't know how to share it without triggering people. So when that day comes, I promise I will, but I've tried so many times. I've done practice videos on it, and I just can't figure out a way to do it. But let's say before the pandemic, because, you know, when my business was really thriving, I fell for some of that illusion very easily. I basically, so let me just read your question one more time, because I raised a lot of funding myself with my business, and I attracted all the right people all the time. So what I always did was, for example, on a small scale, when I wanted to attract the sales that I wanted to attract with customers, I say, for example, I wanted to make $100,000 in the month. So for me, that kind of broke down to $25,000 a week. But sometimes a week or two would go by with no sales. I wouldn't give up, because I knew that some customers could literally come in right off the street and spend $25,000 with me. So as the days went by, and if I saw nothing, I would just stay in my end, and my end would kind of hit a lot of different points. In a lot of cases, my end would be either seeing the store full, seeing me behind the counter, writing, like literally closing the sales with the customers, giving them a hug, us laughing, or my end may be literally in the customers' homes, seeing all of the beautiful design that I did for them, or, you know, seeing all of the money in the bank, or possibly just paying everything off. So I had a lot of different imaginal acts. I also would always have this feeling that people were literally, and this was so powerful. So try this. This was one of the most powerful things that would always, it would always, you know, reflect back to me very quickly, that people were literally completely obsessed with my business, that literally they would think about all of the things that they wanted in their homes, that they thought of me as their local design star, and that everybody was literally waiting for me to get an appointment with me to go into their homes and design, you know, this or that. It would be a lot of things like that. Like I would imagine people waking up in the morning, can't wait to come into the store. I would imagine people like waiting outside of my door before the doors were even opened. I would imagine people at home at night on their computers or on their cell phones, looking at my Facebook page, looking at the website. I would imagine them having conversations with each other in their homes, saying things like, I love this store so much. I love everything about it. And the owner is amazing. And so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so bought all of their furniture there. And everybody loved working with Kim, and Kim, this and that. And like, I would imagine all of these conversations being had by people about me and about the store. And literally that's what would happen all the time. Like people would come in and tell me exactly that. So as far as attracting large sums of money, I ended up attracting, like, at the time, for a small business to be able to borrow, you know, large sums of money was tough. It still is tough, I think, for a lot of small businesses, but I would just go to the end of having more than enough money. I kind of would play this game in my mind. I would say to myself, okay, this is in the 3D. Physically, I'm the owner of the store, but this technically isn't my business. I'm an open channel. I am an open channel allowing God to work for me, or through me. Sorry, not for me. I'm working for God. This business isn't my business. This is just something that I allowed to work through me. and this business puts out this beautiful value in the world. Everybody benefits from the business. I change people's lives. The value that this business gives way exceeds the money that people spend with me. So that was kind of like a foundation. And then I would just know that if this is God's business, that all of the money that this business needs is literally going to come to me. And I would imagine, like, what are the things that I would be doing if I had all the money in the bank? They would be things for me. Like, so you use this for however it works with you. They would be things like, I would constantly be refreshing my showroom. I would constantly be buying new furniture designs. I would be buying new rugs, new lamps, new products, this and that. I would be making the store. I would constantly be doing things over. So every morning, that's what I would spend my time doing. I would wake up, do all my morning stuff. I would spend all my time obsessively looking at and creating in my mind what the physical showroom would look like. And I would be acting as if I had hundreds of thousands of dollars to spend on products. And I did it for the pleasure of it. And I was obsessive about it and I felt so good about it. And then I would do my morning routine with music and all this and that. And then what would happen is all the money would come towards me. It's like all the people would just come and be attracted to it, as if I did just spend $100,000 in the showroom when I didn't spend a penny. But in other words, so try that, okay? Let me just go back up here. Hey, Brandon. Wow, a lot of people are on. So sorry, guys, let me go back up. I hope that helped. I love food. Regina Jenna, I'm having someone new come in now who is reflecting a healed version of the masculine, which is what I've been envisioning in my person. I'm enjoying hanging out, but it makes me miss my person even more, trying to see it as movement with my person that he is healed. Yeah, you can assign that meaning. When you are ready for a union with your person, when you're truly ready for a union with your person, then just focus 100% on your person. Okay. Sometimes in our 3D, meeting someone else can be healing, but when you're ready for, when you have healed and you are now ready for your masculine, then you want to shut everything else down. But in the meantime, if this is healing for you, then continue healing. But just know when it's time for union, you're going to want to shut everything down. Okay. Just from my perspective. And the thing is, if you have a belief that this will bring your person back, then keep doing it, because it'll happen naturally, however you believe. It's just the way it is. So. Okay, so Fox City Homes, if you responded emotionally in the 3D and yelled at the 3D for the SP, do you just collect you and go back to persisting? Yes. Also, how often should we visualize end scenes? I mean, I love visualizing things that I love in my life. So I'm very imaginative. I tend to just do very fast imaginal scenes whenever I'm in the mood for it, I'll just go with it. So do that. If you feel bad for how you showed up in your 3D, you need to forgive yourself, because that can be something. So just forgive yourself. And see that you're forgiven, that God forgives you, and see that your person forgives you too. Focus, focus, focus. Dear Kim, in manifesting better dynamics with people, my intuition seems to get in the way. Sorry, I lost you just now. I'm going to go back. I am dedicated to my daily inner work, seeing them in highest light, but I can strongly sense where they are truly at even with no communication. Any advice? I want to help you, but I'm unclear of your question, Hocus. Hocus, focus. Let me read that again. I'm dedicated to my daily inner work, seeing them in their highest light, but I can strongly sense where they are truly. This is the part. The strongly sense part, which without even understanding what you meant by that, you should only be strongly sensing the version of you and them the way you want it. So anything else that you're perceiving as a strongly sense, if it isn't equaling how you are seeing them in their highest light, then that is not your sense. That is your fear. That's your doubt. So when you are sensing stuff, this is interesting because I don't want to go into too much personal details, but think how I can put this. I was in a relationship once, and let's say that everything that I was feeling and how I was communicating from my perspective was nothing but love. But the other person was in there, and I know I'm talking about this in the 3D, so don't get too caught up in this, okay? But the other person, because this was still my own stuff, the other person was constantly like saying things like, I'm sensing this in you, or I'm sensing that in you, or I'm sensing this in you. And I'm like, no, like, no, like I'm all love here. I'm all love. I want this. I adore you. I love you. You're all I want. Like, I'm not like, so the person was sensing like I didn't want to, whatever, like have something with them or continue or whatever. No, that's not, that's not true. That's, so be careful of what you're sensing. What you're sensing is more so your insecurity. Okay. So it's not really your sense, it's your insecurity. You just stay, this is literally the same with every single thing. You stay focused on your end, and you stay focused only seeing the others, whoever these people are, in their highest light, and know that you will experience that version of them, because God will go ahead of you. God already has, and God is doing everything that God needs to do to make everything harmonious with you and the people. Okay, it's that simple. Evie, thank you so much, Kim. You're welcome. Preet, hello, Kim. Thank you. I took your advice. Choose deep connection, and it is the best connection. Awesome. We'll send you my success story soon. Great, and I will read it soon. Channel no more. Thank you, Kim, with a heart. You're welcome. Heart back to you. Preet said, waiting to get a ring, LOL. So don't wait for the ring. Go ahead of the ring and see the marriage. See the living together after you're married, okay? Don't wait for the ring. Brandon, hello, Kim. Hey, Brandon, big hugs for you. John M., that's what Abdullah did. He ate like a pig and never gained weight. Okay, well, yeah, I personally, I am definitely in a belief, which I'm okay with, it doesn't matter, that if I pollute my temple, if I pollute my system, if I eat junk, then I will probably gain weight. I'm okay with that limiting belief because I love eating healthy. I love feeling good. I love staying in shape. I just love treating my body well. For me, treating my body well and eating well, for me, and this doesn't have to be for you guys, is a very clear form of self-love for me. So I honor my temple. Leslie Ann, thank you so much, sweet, sweet, sweet soul. Oh, thank you. You're a sweet, sweet, sweet soul. Ray Light, can you change your person to that super clear ideal version of them? I would love to do it with him. Yes, you can. I just want to hear it from you. Yeah, you can. Of course you can. Just, you know what to do, Ray Light. You've already manifested so much. So just keep seeing the version, persist in the version, trust that you will experience that, and just let him be. Don't get caught up in the 3D. Kat, hello, Kim. I'm struggling with seeing my person differently in my imagination. I try to stay faithful, but in the back of my mind, there's always this thought that he's never going to change. Well, you have to, so hard with these lives when you ask questions like this, because why is it hard for you to see? Do you tend to, let me just read this again. I'm going to try to be patient with the question. Hello, Kim, I'm struggling with seeing my person differently in my imagination. Is it because you have too much of an old story of your person? If so, Do you trust that when you focus on a different version, do you trust that this is actually something that you will experience? If you don't, then it feels like you have a self-concept struggle. So I would go into self-concept. And how you go into self-concept is you remind yourself, because this has nothing to do with your person. This has everything to do with you. So do you believe that through your imagination and through your beliefs, that life will reflect your beliefs back to you? Because to me, if you really did believe that, you would not have a struggle. And let me remind you of something. If someone is showing up for you, for example, I don't know exactly what the situation is with your person, but let's say that it's just a person in your life that you love. Let's say that they're showing up in ill health. What I would do is I would say to myself, do I want to continue seeing this person in pain? Do I want to continue to see this person hurting and suffering? No. So what do I want? I want to see them healing. I want to see them feeling better. I want to imagine them smiling. I want to imagine seeing their eyes bright. I want to imagine them being able to walk freely. I want to imagine them telling me, oh my God, I feel so good lately. I've felt so much better. I'm really getting stronger and stronger every day. So I would have that motivate me so much, the love that I have for this person. I would allow that love to motivate me so much to refuse seeing them suffer in any way in my mind's eye. Now in the 3D, they might continue to suffer, okay? But I will continue to see them healed, strong, happy, okay? So think of it that way, that you want to see your person. How would they like to see themselves? You know, if you know this person, if this is your person, you guys must love each other deeply if this is your person. So if this is your person, you know, like, do they want to be stronger? Do they want to be somebody who, I don't know any details about it, but see them in their highest light, how they want to be. How do they want to be? See them as that person, that man or woman who you know that they would be happy being, and trust and know that that's what you'll get back as a reflection. So self-concept, know that it is how you see people, how they're going to show up for you. Okay. That's just part of self-concept. Caribbean Flora. And Dana said, thank you. You're welcome. I think I already said that actually. I have a little more time and then I got to go because my guy's going to be here soon. Hey, Kim, how do I stop myself from wanting this one day and then being like, I don't want this? My emotions are all over the place. I have started praying for God's best. Let me just see. How long have I been on this? I can't even tell. I'm going to keep reading your question. You asked a few questions. I'll go to the next one. How do I stop myself from wanting this one day, then not wanting this? Now I pray for God's best, whether that's SP or not. It's again, this goes back to a self-concept thing with you too. Okay. Get really clear. Is this your person or isn't it your person? Do you guys have a deep love together or don't you? If you guys have a deep love together and you trust this and your self-concept is in order and you're loving yourself and you're seeing them love you, adore you, be devoted to you, you're seeing them healed, you're seeing, knowing that God is going to step in and do whatever God needs to do to basically inspire your person to become who they want to be, because you would want them to be who they want to be, right? I'm assuming to be a better man, a stronger man, a man that brings value into your life, a man that takes care of you, a man that feels that he's of value, that he's of service. That's the kind of man I would think that you want in your life. That's the kind of man that I would think every man wants to be beyond their ego. So if you can't see him that way, and you can't trust that God will show him how to become that, then I would look at self-concept. Why can't he become that person? Why can't you see him as being that person? And why aren't you trusting that that will happen? And why aren't you trusting that God is making it all happen? Self-concept, that's what it is. Sometimes you guys come in at a place where you're already frustrated because you've been quote unquote manifesting for a long time. But the truth is, it's been kind of like, this isn't something, this is a full-time all-in thing. It's almost like I've always had this kind of way of thinking about it for myself. I persist like my life depends on it. So I am such a guard of, if somebody is showing up in my life and they matter to me, because sometimes I'm not going to try to recreate every single situation in my life and every single person. I don't have the energy to do that. I'm going to stay focused on the people who matter to me. Okay. So I'm always going to see them in their highest and best. And I am not going to allow, if I have a little bit of a fear come up, or if you know, I see them in another way show up, I'm not going to even allow that to fester in my mind. I'm going to persist like my life depends on it. I'm going to love myself like my life depends on it. I'm going to see them loving themselves and being of value, being of worth, like my life depends on it. And I'm going to trust that this is, you know, for me, the right way to live, and that God is handling everything for me. I don't have to worry about it. And I'm just going to persist. Hocus pocus focus. Thank you, Kim. You're welcome. I hope that helped. Okay. Vanessa. Hi, Kim. I love your content. Don't ever stop. Oh, thank you. With a heart. Thank you so much. Caribbean. Thank you, Kim. You're welcome. Dia. Hi, Kim. Hi. All right, guys. So I feel like I'm going to be signing off in a few minutes. I'm going to go back to a question that I missed here. Oh, I did want to mention something though. Guys, a lot of you guys are affirming from your middle, and you have to stop. Affirming from your middle, persisting in things from your middle and not from your end is what produces no movement or hot and cold. Okay. So what I mean is, if you're not seeing movement, or if you're getting hot and cold, or you're just trying to focus on text messages or a call, you're messing with the middle. You're not in your end, and you're affirming from not having. And that is just going to be manifesting, not having, not having, not having, not having, not having. So stop affirming from your middle. And again, when your person does show back up, don't get sucked back into the 3D. No matter what, you always trust in the highest and best, period, and keep that clear in your mind. It's very easy and it's very tempting to get sucked into the 3D and to stop doing the inner work. Don't do it, okay? Fox City Homes. Oh, wait a minute. Regina Jenna. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I always get your name wrong. Regina Jenna. I really want to reach out to my person and tell him how much I love him, but I recognize I'll be pretty crushed if he rejects me. So I guess that means I'm not ready. It does mean you're not ready. That's correct. When you reach out to your person, you reach out when you are in a state that you know it's inspired. It doesn't matter how they respond. It is with pure, unconditional, true, genuine love, period. It doesn't matter what the outcome is. You're not doing it to try to get anything. You're not doing it to try to make them say something or do something. You are doing it because it is truly pure, unconditional love, and you need them to know it. And that's it. So it's truly inspired. It's not trying to control anything. And that you're not afraid of rejection because you know that it's coming from a pure, pure, pure place. Okay. So yeah, when you get to that point where you're confident and strong enough, if you still feel like doing it, do it. You should. Fox City Homes, thank you. I should have clarified. I responded to the SP with crying voicemail and expressing my love. I feel that, but was yelling at the air and no one. Oh, good. Okay, that's okay. So it's okay. Get back in your end then. Good. I'm glad that, so you weren't doing yelling at the person. That's good. Lastly, I use my own affirmations plus various SP subliminals. Can that be overkill, or using both slow down or add confusion to the subconscious goals? You don't want to be doing, okay. This is how I see it. When people first get clear of what they want and they start at the very beginning of the process, they're starting the inner work. So they're starting saying the affirmations. Maybe they're visualizing, maybe they're scripting, maybe they're doing inner conversations, maybe they're doing subliminals, maybe they're doing all of it. If you, in the very first beginning, you're going to feel there's going to be a wrestling match that happens with some people, not all, but it's just going to be like all of your ego, your fears kind of fighting for its position, because it's been in there for a long time and they're comfy and cozy, and now they're getting disturbed. You let the wrestling match happen knowing that the new story is going to win. If you've been doing this inner work, Fox City, for a long time, and anyone else out there, if you're doing a lot of inner work, and you feel like you're doing it because you're not sure if it's working and you're anxious about it, and this has been a long time, and you have that kind of anxious anxiety, like, I don't know if this is working, maybe I should do some more. I don't know if that was enough affirmations, maybe I should keep doing more affirmations. Oh my God, maybe I should look at this video, maybe I should look at that video, maybe I should do this new technique. Oh, they said I should do this technique. Oh, maybe I should add that onto my techniques. That is the kind of stuff that is not, that's not where you want to be. You want to get to a point where you have overcome the wrestling match, where when you do your affirmations and in between, you kind of feel very blissful. You feel very like your state is really, really, really good. You feel good. It's okay if you're not there yet, but the point I'm trying to make is, you don't want to be constantly affirming, imagining, visualizing in an anxious state, because that is not living from the end. That's not trusting either. So yeah, if you end up wanting a session, just reach out to me or go to the website. I have a lot of specials right now also. Like I have and I have a sliding fee scale for some of you guys if you need a discount, if only temporarily you're in a situation. But I have a package, a really good package that everybody loves. It's like $349 for your first hour session, then 2 30-minute follow-ups. So we usually meet once, and then, so we meet over 3 weeks. But then the most popular package I have is actually a package of 5 30-minute sessions at only $95 each. So you can't beat that. It's $495. So if you're interested, I can help you. The weekly support seems to be really good. So if you want that, just reach out. And what you do is you just click and book online, and then email me your old story, and then I reply back with my first available. So I love food. I have a bit delay on the stream. Only saw your answer to my question now. Thank you so much, Kim. This was really helpful. Good. I'm glad it was helpful. You're welcome. Lee, thanks, Kim. Much love. Thank you, Lee. Much love to you. Hocus pocus focus, like the eyes are the mirror of a person's soul. I believe the voice equally carries the soul's signature. Your voice is so soothing and authentic. I love it. Oh, it would be perfect for a podcast. Oh, that's so sweet. Maybe I'll do a podcast. Honestly, I don't even know what a podcast is, frankly. I mean, I kind of have a general idea, but I've never really watched a podcast. I've never obviously done a podcast. So maybe I'll look into it. What I do need to do is I want to get into custom subliminals and custom meditations for you guys. So if anybody's interested, just reach out. I'm going to start doing that soon. I want to do some more meditation videos too. I've been too busy. Okay, guys, I love you guys so much. I've been on now for 90 minutes, so this was a long one. So I love you. Have an amazing day. If you want coaching, please, you know how to reach out. Please I forgot to mention, give this a thumbs up, because it helps my content get spread. Okay. I love you guys. I will talk to you guys soon. Have an amazing, amazing day. Okay. Keep loving yourself. Let me just do this. Keep trusting. Okay. I love you. Bye.